Okay. Who actually remembers what happened last time?
Ronnie died!
He did be dead.
So
So,
he did die.
And now she's traumatised for the rest of her life.
it's good growth.
As if she wasn't
It's
already.
good character
It's good
development.
growth. It's good growth. Yes, so you guys completed Death House. It was a bit of a shit show. Ronnie at one point nearly tried to sacrifice himself, but Cass stepped in to prevent that. Upon leaving Death House, Cass went down, was stabilised by Cortesha. Ronnie died. Cortesha dragged both of them out of the house, and then in the street you were brought back and you died laying in Ronnie died fully while you laid in his arms. There was a brief encounter with a strange man in a carriage who gave you an amulet and the chance to bring him back. You used said amulet, however Ronnie's soul did not fully return to his body, but he lasted for long enough to just give you a final message of goodbyes before passing away. You two then, still surrounded by the mists in the creepy town of Barovia, decided to burn his body and head off down the street, which was the exact point we left it, so we're picking up with just you two now. Moments after you've had to burn your companion who you've been travelling with for at least a good while and you'd known for a lot longer, you're in a strange town. We do have the town map of Barovia there. The house was down here, so heading up this way is the direction you're heading into. What you believe to be the middle of Barovia. At this point, the mists have subsided, the very, very dense mists have subsided. It's still foggy all around, the sky is still greyed out, there's no sunlight coming through, it's enough to just barely light up the surrounding street. But you can more clearly see the houses that are around you, most of which look quite decrepit, boarded up. Some of the doors are completely boarded up, some of them have tops of doors ripped off, smashed open, they're just kind of half swinging, they look abandoned. Some of them you can see the slivers of glow in between the panels, indicating that something is in there with some light, but it doesn't look like a warm and inviting place. Where do you two want to go? Are you wandering aimlessly, or?
Yeah, Cass is just sort of walking. She's not really looking where she's going.
I mean, are we possibly aware of anywhere like inn or tavern wise, just to kind of go and sit and collect ourselves, I guess?
You're not familiar enough with the city or the town to know for definite, but you recognise the general looks of what a tavern would be. So you're confident you can kind of
beer or ale.
You can smell mildew and
Gross. Okay.
decay.
Nice.
More so. It smells like
Pungent.
like hints of sewage. It smells damp and it smells disgusting for the most part. When you really focus on it, you really realise how much this place has an aura of death around it.
Can I try and break the ice with Cass and be like, Crown really let this town go?
Mm-hmm. She's giving you absolutely nothing. She's
Cool.
As you two are walking down the street, you come to this middle kind of crossroads. The road itself opens up into it's not an immediate plus, it's more like a market square type place, but it is completely empty. There's no stalls or anything like that. Notably though, there are two distinct buildings on your left and your right on the corners. The first of which, on the left, so this one, you can see a kind of simple sign hanging above a door that's creaking as it kind of blows in the wind. You can see that it says Bill Darth's Mercantile. There is a very faint glow coming from inside. The door is closed. There's like a tiny crack at the bottom that's got a little bit of light. On the right, you can see more of a classic tavern looking building in its shape. It's got multiple stories. It clearly has some sort of room on the upstairs, but the upstairs is completely dark. The windows have a couple of planks going over them with smashed glass, so it definitely looks like it's more in disrepair, but there is the ever so faint noise coming from in it, and that's basically the only thing you hear in this quiet street. That one does have a sign on it that says Blood of the Vine Tavern.
Ominous. I guess in that case then, I'm just gonna take Cass on the shoulder and just kind of like do my best to lead her towards the tavern, the Blood on Vine Tavern.
Blood on the Vine.
Blood on the Vine Tavern.
You see upon looking at the sign, Blood of the Vine, you can see that where the letter F is clearly been scratched out and was previously Blood on the Vine, and they've scratched out the M, replaced it with an F, and then scratched in Tavern underneath it.
Nice. Cool.
Cool.
So you're heading in there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And the door just creaks open, spookily. The inside's quite dimly lit. It's mainly just candles that are kind of keeping this place going. Straight away you do see a barkeep. It's a slightly older, maybe mid-40s human gentleman with quite palish skin stood there. You just hear the squeaking of him cleaning out a glass, and he's just kind of looking at it. He looks very unenthused about living, and as soon as he finishes, he puts it down, starts on the next one. Doesn't look up to pay attention to you or anything.
Is there anyone else in the tavern, or it's just him?
You see a ever so slightly younger person, sort of maybe late 30s, sat off in a corner by themselves nursing a glass of wine, and you can see three figures in slightly brightly coloured clothes, like not glowingly vibrant, but definitely a little more colourful. Reds, blues, greens, yellows on their outfits. They are all sat around a table together drinking. They're making very hushed conversation, but it's almost as quiet as the squeaking of the glass on a rag. None of them bother to even acknowledge you guys coming in.
Can I turn to Cass and be like, did you want to go grab a seat? I'll go get us some drink and some food.
Yeah, okay. And she like walks like sort of in the middle-ish. Just takes one of the seats.
Yeah. So you sit, you're a few tables away from these,
Yeah.
the guy in the corner and away from these three. You sit down and it's so quiet, it's the creaking of the chair on the floor. As you sit down, you hear it kind of going, and then putting your arms on. It's almost like brushing your skin along the surface of the wooden table. You can hear. And it's very awkward. You see the three people dressed quite colourfully. They don't pay attention. The one in the corner does look up and see you, but doesn't give you any kind of real acknowledgement. They're just like, oh, there's someone over there. That's about it.
I want to walk over to the barkeep and I just want to basically query, do you need drink, ale, do you need food?
The gentleman cleaning the glass as you walk over doesn't bother looking up at you to give you any mind as soon as you ask about anything to drink. Just, I have wine for a copper.
Yeah, can I get 2 wines? Do you sell food?
Not currently. We don't have anything to eat.
Great talk.
He just sort of turns off. You can see this man
A copper
has...
each, yeah?
Yeah. This man has next to no expression. Doesn't seem happy that you're buying a drink. Just disinterested. He turns, he gets a couple of glasses of wine, he pops them down on the bar side, he takes a couple of copper from you.
While he's sorting that and taking the money from me, can I just like, are you okay?
He's cleaning the glass and he just gives you a bit of a nod, not even an answer properly.
You sure?
Yeah.
Just don't like your job?
Yeah.
Probably get a career change.
to do.
What is with that? Why are all the houses and everything empty?
That's the way it is.
Because of the council?
That's the way it's always been.
I'm gonna need a bit more information than that, my guy.
He just seems like trying to get blood from a stone.
Yeah.
He goes back and just starts cleaning these glasses again.
I'm just gonna pick up the 2 wine glasses and be like, God, I'm not a people person. And I'm just gonna go over and hand the glass to Cass and just be like, they don't sell food.
Of course they don't.
Also, that guy, not great to converse with.
No one in here looks like they want to converse with us.
Can I turn towards the people in the bright coloured clothes and be like, they're having a nice time?
Whispering.
You having a look over at them, they're kind of like having a little faint chuckle to themselves. Like there's some sort of in jokes and things like that between them, but they are very hushed. The other person that sat in the corner is now that you've sat down, you're both sat there, you notice that he is holding his wine glass and he's kind of like looking up over at you two every now and then, looking back down. He seems like he's got a little bit more going on up there, if you know what I mean.
I'm not good with talking to people. You should probably take the lead with this one.
No.
Kind of an impasse.
Okay, she like downs a bit of her drink and then sort of like turns around to sort of edit.
As you finish your drink and go to turn, you notice that this figure is already walking towards you.
That was easy.
Puts their glass down on the table, scooches a chair out without much mind of keeping it quiet, sits down and kind of nudges it in a little bit, grabs his glasses. Are you guys not from around here?
No.
It's that painfully obvious.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I thought we blended in quite well.
I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but are you know, like mercenaries? I see you're quite geared out with your weapons, but
I like to
you know, you
punch things.
very good to know. That works. Are you looking for work?
Are you looking to pay us?
I'm looking for someone to help.
I'll take gold.
Can we hear what this is about first before we say yes?
I could probably muster up some money, but I need some help escorting somebody.
We're not that kind of service.
Oh god, no.
What service are you talking about?
I'm trying to get my sister away from Barovia, but we need
cute.
some help, like guards for her.
That should be fun. Where are you wanting to go?
There's a town not too far away from here, maybe a day or so away. It's just that it's a bit dangerous, is all. So we don't really want to take the chance ourselves. But if you're willing to help.
How dangerous are we talking?
On a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 7.
Do I get to punch things?
Yes, most likely yes.
Sign me up.
If you didn't, I'd be very surprised.
Sweet.
Give us a moment. What do you think?
I get to punch things.
Okay.
He, after a moment, he has a bit of a grin on his face, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm Ismark, by the way."
Cass. Gesundheit.
Name.
Oh, Cortesha.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. Well, I mean, you don't have to go right now. And he pulls out like a little scrap of paper, and he draws a very crude version of a town map for you, and points towards this building down here. It's like this is where we live. you want to come by in a little bit? I mean, I've got a few things I'll probably have to prepare, but
Who got food?
we've got a bite to eat. Not too much, but
Give us 20 minutes.
okay. And he downs his wine and leaves.
I thought we were talking about the long 20 minutes. Alright.
I'm not sitting still enjoying my drink. I'm not rushing.
Well, yeah.
He's got things to do, clearly.
He does.
He's got a bag to pack.
Is there anything you two are discussing while sat in here, or anything else you would like to do in the tavern?
I think we probably, though it's still a sensitive subject, we could probably do with finding another teammate. We're quite short-handed. There's only 2 of us.
Let him die
He,
first.
listen, he died, okay?
Let him die for a bit longer.
But
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna go fight something, we need someone to heal us. Can you heal?
I don't think I can.
Neither can I.
Brilliant.
I can just hit things really hard. I like hitting things.
It's not like we have lots of people in here that we can ask.
What about those people?
No, we're not asking those people. They're giggling.
They seem nice.
We don't need nice.
I like nice.
We are not nice.
That's hurtful.
As you guys are having this discussion, you can hear the 3 that are sat off to the side, their conversation a little bit louder. You can't make out exactly what they're saying, but they seem to be enjoying each other's company, and it starts to almost sound like a normal tavern for a brief moment, and then almost like the drop of a hat, they go completely silent. And you notice one of them kind of looking over their shoulder towards you guys, and back to hush tones again.
Can I roll perception to see if I pick up on them looking at me? Or
Yeah.
looking at us, rather? Just gotta see if I've got to add anything to it here. Perception. First roll of the day. That's a 10!
You catch like a glimpse of them moving their head back to their group. You don't know if maybe they were just looking around or what they were doing exactly.
Okay, it's probably better that way. I'm just gonna. Probably would have ended well.
But you guys, other than that, unless you do anything, just finish your drink.
Just gonna finish my drink then.
Yeah.
Finish our drinks and
Yeah.
head out to that address.
So you guys you head out. It's not been too long, probably about 15 or so minutes. You have to go down past the mercantile shop, Bildrift's Mercantile, on the way.
Can we tell what kind of establishment that is? Or
Definitely a store, like a general store.
can we go in there?
Can do.
We've got time. Can we go in the shop?
Yeah, absolutely. You open the door. There is like a little bell above the door, and it sounds so rusty that as you hit it, it kind of and the bell itself that is meant to jingle freely kind of creaks open and then gets stuck in the up position and slowly through rust like bends back down. It's very creepy, very haunting. As you go in, you can see a storekeep, an old elderly gentleman, white curly-ish hair, stood behind his counter, seemingly in conversation with someone that looks like they're trying to buy some bits. Do you want to introduce your character?
So, I'm guessing they're seeing me from behind.
From behind.
Yep. So, what you see standing there in front of you is a gentleman about 5'10", 5'11", so not too tall, not too short.
Is it short?
That's very cool.
He's wearing quite simple sort of brown sort of robe to a degree. He has the only way I can describe it, like a sunset coloured sash that sort of wraps round his waist and then comes up over like the form of a lapel. You can see it sort of start off as a yellow and fades through to oranges and then finishes in a red. He's got quite short brown hair. He's got quite short brown hair, and and he's standing there just sort of, obviously, sort of finalising his transaction.
You chose well.
What do you think he'd be trying to buy in a general store?
I think he's probably looking for probably some parchment, maybe some ink to effectively sort of document what I would assume has happened to him, and probably trying to pick up a water skin and perhaps some meat jerky. Yes.
So all of the items are available for you. They're all sat out on the countertop. The bit that's up until now caught you off guard just before these two people walked in was the gentleman who you assume is Bildrith telling you that for the jerky, some parchment, bit of ink and a water skin is going to be costing you upwards of about 20 gold.
Damn.
It's an expensive shop.
I told you the council's fuck this.
What is the meaning? Why is it so expensive? How much are you making on this sort of stuff?
Enough to live.
Not to cause any offence, but the place is not looking so great. Like, where's the money going? Are you getting taxed to high heaven?
Well, no, I don't get many customers. I need to make my money somehow.
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't want it, don't buy it.
I need what I've got here, but
Well, if you need it, then you'll pay the price for it, won't you?
Wow.
are you a betting man by chance?
Not for my goods, no.
The chance to earn a little bit more in comparison to a little bit less?
I think I'll take my chances earning properly.
Okay, he's gonna sort of go into this sort of rucksack that he's got, and he's gonna start going through, just double checking to make sure, because 20 gold is an extortionate amount of money, and he's gonna sort of see what he can do to perhaps get that sort of reduced, and he's sort of going through. Right. Okay. Oh, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna halve the amount of rashers. He's got enough ink to last a while, so he's going to put back the ink, but he needs the parchment. So he sort of devise and go, well, take that. I need this.
Just the parchment and
Parchment, some rations.
I'm in. I'll do you 8 gold for that.
Okay. So he's begrudgingly going in, sort of going down. He's like, what the hell have I got my stuff? And he'll turn around to sort of put his bag down on the side of a counter. And I imagine at this point you're now catching a side glimpse of who you're looking at.
Yeah, sort of having a look around.
Stopping at the door, just dropping around.
Yeah, he will hand over the 8 gold begrudgingly to. I hope you start getting more trade, because at these prices, it's.
Well, it is what it is around here, but pleasure doing business.
Trying to see he'll grab his stuff and right into the back and sling it on his back and go, right.
As that happens, he looks over your shoulder towards you two. So, evening, ladies.
Evening.
Looking to
Hello.
purchase anything?
No, just have a look.
Okay.
I might want to purchase something.
Well, anything you see on the shelves, it's all good for grabs.
What sort of stuff has he got?
A pretty wide variety, a lot of basic gear. Nothing that you would normally find too expensive. You know, they've got various rations, water skins, there's like climbing equipment, things like parchment, ink, stuff like that. There's bits of rope dotted around, there's, you know, a basic kind of like travel cloaks, some terribly made shoes and bits of clothing. It isn't great, but there's a good selection.
He doesn't have to have any potions, does he?
No, nothing that extravagant.
I thought it was not. Damn it. But he's got food rations?
He's got dried meats, dried, heavily salted meats.
Lovely.
Can I ask him if he's looking to buy items?
Oh, I could be interested.
Okay, in that case then, I'm just going to rifle through my bag and just pull out quite a few of the bits that we got from murder. Just to lighten my load.
What have you got?
So I've got 5 bear toys. I've got a light crossbow. Do you want a light crossbow?
I'm good.
I'm probably not going to use it. I've got a gold ring. I'm not taking anything less than 25 gold pieces. That, right. I have an ivory hairbrush. I've got just a standard mace. I've got 3 moss agates, scale mail as well, and I've got an additional shield. I've only got 2 hands. I only need 1 shield.
Do you get everything out?
Yeah. And I just
So
put it on the counter in front
He
of him.
kind of like has a rummage around. He's looking at a few bits. He definitely grabs things up. Okay, 25 would work. Yeah.
I mean, 25 for just the gold coin, like the gold ring.
Oh no, 25 for everything. And I'll tell you, that's a steal.
No, I'm just gonna take it all back.
Well, best of luck finding another merchant shop around here.
I mean, I can just hold on to it. It's fine. What did you say that he had again? I blanked.
Just a large collection of things.
Those salted meats.
Your
Badly
basic
made
travelling
shoes.
gear, your basic adventuring gear. Nothing that's too complex, or you know, he's not going to be selling like navigator's tools or anything like that.
Nah, I figured as much.
No weaponry, no armor, but we'll sell like shitty trousers and a cloak and some rope.
Can I ask how much some rope and some food rations will be?
How many days worth of rations?
Well, we're eating at the other place as well.
Take it ahead.
Oh.
7.
And some rope?
Like 50 foot of hempen rope.
I could probably part with that for 2 lovely ladies with 15 gold.
15?
Well, that's 7 days worth of rations right there. That's quite the bargain.
No, it's not. It's dried meats. This isn't exactly a. Got some fancy food.
I was thinking Subway.
What's fancy food?
You're not choosing.
What's fancy
I'd like
food?
salami.
Oh,
This
well.
isn't cheese and toasted.
I don't know, like lamb or something.
It's not lamb or a 5 course.
Yes.
5 course meal.
No, it's not. But it's enough to keep you alive.
Just cured meat. I
Is
can
there
keep
really
me
a
alive
price you
with
can put
my
on that?
fists.
Good luck eating those.
Can I change it from 7 to 3? And I want to try and persuade him to lower the price.
What would you say to persuade him?
Would I be better actually for
Persuade.
persuade? I'm wondering if I'm actually going to be better for intimidation rather than persuasion. Oh yeah, I'm probably going to be better for intimidation.
I got a +3 persuasion. But I'm not in this conversation.
I mean, you could help, but it's fine.
You could help me.
Can I be like, I say intimidating me to make him give me the stuff for a cheaper amount. Give me the stuff, or my fist is gonna connect with your face.
Give me intimidation, right?
Natural 20. I'm not even kidding you. That's a natural 20.
What was it you were saying?
Give it to me for a cheaper amount, or my fist is gonna meet your face.
He immediately is like, whoa, whoa, okay, whoa. If you want to get like that. And he hollers into the back of the shop, and after a couple of seconds, this like 7 foot tall, absolute beefcake, but really baby faced guy walks. He's like, "It's uncle." Immediately, he's like, "They're trying to extort us. Our fine business here. I think you should deal with this." And he just, "Okay, uncle." And he starts stepping around the counter and squaring up to you. He's like, "What are you saying to my uncle? We sell things at fair prices."
Oh, you're stopping me. Okay. I don't know about that, buddy.
He's like blinking one eye. He's not very.
I mean, it might be fair prices, but how much does he pay you?
I get to live here, and he feeds me, and he keeps me warm, and he's my friend.
I could pay you a gold a day to do all of that.
I don't want that from you. You seem very mean, and I don't like the way you talk to Uncle.
I just want some nice food.
Well, and he turns to his uncle. He's like, "I need to pay for it." Well, then pay for it.
How much does he want for it?
And he's like half hiding behind who believed to be his nephew, and he's like, 8 gold.
Oh, that's fine.
For the 3 rations and the rope.
That's fine.
He sort of goes back to tucking around behind his counter into his normal position, but this nephew doesn't actually leave. He just kind of walks towards the back a bit and is just stood there looming in a doorway, just really awkwardly.
Is it dried food?
It's just rations. Just day rations, but it's like a really bad tasting jerky.
Lovely.
It's not Cajun.
Oh.
It's not seasoned. It's just
Salt.
just salt.
Wasn't worth 8 gold, that's what you're telling me.
Far from.
And it was 50 feet of hempen rope, yeah?
Yeah.
I got the rope just in case.
You see this entire thing folding out. Like you're just like packing your bag up.
I'm packing away like. Why?
Do you need anything?
No, I'm good. I'm waiting on dinner.
Okay, let's go then.
Okay.
Cool. You guys head out. Would you have left before these guys?
I probably halfway through the altercation of trying to, I suppose, de-escalate by purchasing, I would have gone, nah, I'm not going to see a fight, and pack away my stuff and put on my bag, and just as I'm walking out, I will take a glance and look over and like, you know, like sometimes you double take at someone to go, feel a familiar face, but I just don't know why. Looking over in your general direction, and I'll continue making my way out of the shop.
Okay, so you head out first. You stand out on the street. Once you leave, you realise how nice and actually surprisingly warm that interior, cold, dreary shop was. Just from the slightly worse conditions outside, the fog is making it slightly humid. You know, your hair's almost wet enough to drip.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cold breeze coming down the street, and you just kind of stood there for a moment, and it seems just desolate. There's off in the distance, you can maybe see at this point about 4 or 5 buildings down in any direction. You see the sparsest bits of light dotting here and there, and the occasional like chittering of rats and like groan of something somewhere nearby.
Mm.
You're out there for a good couple of minutes. Are you waiting outside or heading in a certain direction?
I'm generally sort of coming out here trying to, obviously first time being here, trying to get my general sense of direction to go, which direction did I come in from again, and where I've got to try and find my way back out, and I'll be pretty much just around this main sort of centre courtyard town area, just sort of like, you know, trying to look into the sky to see which way the sun is, to sort of go which way's north, which one's it, yeah. It's
like
just nothing
that
but
grey
grey sky,
blank.
yeah.
You see like what might be the sun.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't even know what the time is. So I don't know if the sun's rising or if it's setting. So yeah, at this point I'm a bit
Pottering
bewildered.
around.
Yeah, a bit
Just
bewildered,
looking.
trying to find someone to go, where on earth am I going? Where? How do I get out of here?
While that's happening, you guys end up leaving, and you can see this happening kind of in and amongst the fog, just this confused man existing. And similarly, you feel this cold breeze. You see there's not really anybody else around. He's one of the only people you've seen outside. Yeah, heading south would be the direction to the building that Ismark had pointed you to.
Can I lean over to Cass and just be like, he looks lost.
He does indeed.
Let's go.
I'll say you see these two leave the shop as well.
Should we help him? Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, you finished. I'm guessing you got charged extortionate amounts of money as well.
That was 8 gold. I
Yeah.
could have taken it, but just too tired, can't be bothered.
Yeah, I paid about the same for a few scraps of paper and a few days worth of rations. Sorry, I should probably introduce myself. Lucian Imbecile.
That's me.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, your name?
Cortesha.
Cortesha. Oh, very strong hand there. And
So,
Please.
could you say your name again?
Lucian?
Cass. The Strahd. I think we went to school together.
Little Cass.
Well, not so little anymore.
No, but little. Wow, it's been a fair amount of time. What on earth are you doing here?
A haunted house. Obviously, I had to go see it. What are you doing here?
I don't know. I got lost. I got lost making my way to a friend's house, and then all of a sudden, weird mist rolled in, and things got, you know, completely to the point where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, and all of a sudden, the settings changed, the plants, no form of sound of animals or anything else, and I'm like, I clearly have taken a wrong turn, and I'm trying to find where that wrong turn was and make my way back. Do you have a clue where we are?
We've literally just got here. We were down there. Now we're here.
We were in a house and it tried to kill us.
Don't go in houses.
Don't go in any of the buildings here. Other than, well, it still gets charged stupid amounts. Just don't go in any of the houses here.
A house
safe.
tried to kill you?
Yeah.
If you want to go experience it, you're more than welcome.
I'm fine.
I mean, it actually,
I'm really
it
fine.
did kill one of us.
No. So there was more of you originally?
Yeah.
Perhaps a close friend. Sorry, I'm quite inquisitive. Just I can tell perhaps a partner or a friend or.
No friend.
I am sorry, Cass. I know it's been a few years, but. So where are you guys off to now?
A different house.
That way, and then that way. And we have a map.
Oh, okay. So you know someone here? so you know someone that lives in this. I don't even know the name of the town.
We don't know them.
Sort of employer.
Oh, okay.
They've offered us food, so.
Wow, like, I'm not sure if you guys have looked out of the manor. The place seems to be a bit barren. Do you mind if it'd be great to catch up and see what you've been doing for the last, I can't even think of how many years, but
15.
probably give or take that. But yeah, do you mind if I sort of pop with? As I'm lost, extra coin or two. Perhaps your employer may need a spare hand.
What can you bring to the table? Because I'm the muscle. She's the brains.
Okay.
And the magic, right? Magic?
I'm more like bow rather than magic, but I
She
can do
shoots
magic.
things. I punch things.
I'm the magic man then.
Sorry, I don't like moths.
Yeah, I'm the magic man. Well, friends at university. Friends at university used to refer to me as the magic man, but I dabble in some sorcery.
Okay,
But yeah.
cool.
So
Can you
that's-
heal?
Sorry.
Can you heal?
I can rejuvenate and restore. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll do.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, are you in need of someone to heal the wounds and
Yes.
do a bit of damage? Yeah,
Yeah.
I have many. I have a few spells in my repertoire that
Okay, cool. Sounds cool.
I can help with.
Cool.
Well, lead the way then.
You have done that.
I do. I'm playing paper. That way.
I'm just gonna, with no semblance of where I'm actually supposed to be going, just confidently turn and go in one direction.
The other way.
Turn around and go the other way.
So you guys, as a group now, head south from where you are. It's not far. It's like 8-9 buildings down. It's just out of view because of the fog. After a while of walking, sort of maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, you can start to see this house off in the distance. The building that you're instructed to go to looks horrendous. It's very clearly at one point was some sort of mansion. Now there are no windows. They are all boarded up from the inside. It's surrounded by huge iron fences and a large iron gate. One of the iron gates is laying on the floor. The other one is bent open, just slowly kind of creaking in the wind. And as you guys approach, the flooring all around this mansion is just completely covered in weeds, and they are stamped down solid, almost like a path right up where the building is going, all around from the front that you can see. And the walls are all covered in scratch marks and gouges into the actual stone itself. You can see the tiniest bits of light coming from within. You can see there is a front door that has got various planks nailed onto it, like it's been tried to be repaired at some point. But you don't hear anything. It's dark and silent.
Can I knock on the door?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You just go up and knock. At that point you do begin to hear some muttering from inside, and then you hear footsteps coming close to the door, and it swings open, and it's Ismark. And straight away he turns around to someone. He's like, "See, look, I told you that they would come. Come in."
Hello.
And he gestures both of you to come inside.
New one. He's with us.
Okay, come on in. And as you walk in, he's like, "I'm Ismark."
Nice to meet you,
Nice.
Lucian.
Lucian, lovely to meet you. Is he aware of? Okay. Well,
So, also, but I mean, I feel like it's kind of the perfect opportunity for us to all kind of get more information with
What the hell we're doing?
yeah, whilst we're eating, obviously.
yes, yeah, of course. And he calls away.
Should I close the door? Do you want me to do? Do I need
If you
to?
could. Yes, please.
Do I need to barricade it with anything?
No, just closing it should be fine.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
close
as,
the
long,
door.
as long as it's shut, it'll be alright. He calls back into another room. He calls back. He's like, Irina, get some food, please. 5 bowls will do. Come this way. And he gestures off into a side room. And can you guys all roll me perception checks?
14.
22.
Four.
So as you guys walk in, you go into this main entryway with a staircase directly in front of you. Straight away there is a room to the left, room to the right, with just like doorways, not physical doors. He gestures to go to the right. You two do notice in the left room that there is very clearly just a coffin in the middle of the floor. Closed, but it's just there. You, absolutely oblivious. there's nothing.
What a
You look
nice
around,
room.
you're like,
That's a
wow.
nice coffee table.
It's quite dusty, tight. But he
Wow.
gestures into another room that's got a bit more of a table laid out. It's got plates and cutlery and glasses, but they're kind of grimy. They're a bit dusted over. You can tell no one's sat down to have like a nice meal here in a long time.
Can I, for a little flavour sauce, can I accidentally walk into one of the doorways and go, oh, sorry, to the door.
To the door. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
As you do, like when you hit the frame, like shards of wood just crumble off. So it's like
That's why I'm saying sorry.
just picking it up and putting it back on. Yeah, Ismark heads on in and he pulls out a couple of chairs as he's walking past, presumably for yourselves. And he goes round towards the head of the table and kind of puts his hands on the chair at the head of the table, and then he moves one to the side rather than sitting at the head, and he pulls out a chair and he sits down like, please say I will bring some food in a moment. I imagine you guys have some questions.
Yeah. So, what's up with the town?
Yeah, I can imagine it's a little bit weird for you. It's Barovia, if you're familiar.
Maybe some readings in my first and second year mentioned of a place, but beyond that,
We're in a bit of a slump at the moment. Are
did.
you familiar with the devil in the town? The devil Strahd?
devil,
What was that guy you met? What was his name?
devil.
Oh, the one in the carriage! Oh!
Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry.
She met a guy in a carriage. And then we brought Ronnie back to life, and then he was like, no, I'm not doing this, and killed himself again, so.
Hey, we have a lot to catch you up on, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You met someone in a carriage? We don't really get many carriages through.
This devil person?
Being?
Yes,
He's a man.
he looks like one, yes.
He rides around in a carriage,
Probably does. He's
handing out jewellery.
Shh, we probably should talk about this. We'll talk about it later.
okay, so there's a devil that's causing problems in Barovia.
well, he's kind of he rules essentially.
Okay.
You know, he wasn't voted in. That was my father was voted in. He was the burgomaster.
So he's the usurper?
There are several ways to look at it. Most people believe that he is essentially a curse on us for the sins of our ancestors.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much I buy into that. I'm not really sure why he's here, but it's a nuisance, most definitely.
And how long's he been here?
Yeah, was my whole life at least. If you believe the stories, over 100 years apparently.
How can he rule for over 100 years?
Oh, but he's
A devil, I suppose.
kind of a vampire, I guess.
What?
You know, living
Ah,
undeath. If that's the way you look at it, he has a lot of those traits.
I thought vampires weren't real.
You're talking to an elf.
I'm also half orc.
Anything's possible, I guess.
But that's kind of why I need help with my sister. We want to get her out of Barovia.
Why her and not you?
Oh, I'm not as fussed about myself. He is unnaturally obsessed with my sister.
Oh.
So
Lovely.
we kind of want to get her away from here.
Okay. So escorting your sister out of Barovia is the name of the job?
Pretty much. Ideally, we're going to get her to Vallaki. It's a village a little ways away. It's supposed to be a lot more protected than Barovia. We don't really have any defences. We don't really have any guards.
I can see.
Yeah.
We barely have residents.
There's not many. Yeah. Okay. How far is?
Well, I'll show you. And he reaches off to the sides, and there's like a small cabinet, and he rummages around a bunch of paperwork. You can hear him muttering to himself, saying, "No, not that. No, no." Throws something over his shoulder. He's like, "Don't need a pen." And eventually grabs a big wedge of parchment, and he starts to unfold it. We want to unfold, and he reveals a what he gives you is a relatively crudely drawn sketch of Barovia itself, and he tells you this is Barovia here, and we're needing to head west. He's never been there himself. He can't give an exact description or an exact location. He said, well, Vallaki's supposed to be at least a couple of days west from here.
Okay. And we are about here currently.
Yes.
Do you know the general location, or it's just west along the road?
West along the road. I've never been there myself. West along the road should take us there. It's supposedly a pretty straight shot. So.
It's like
Just, I imagine it's probably quite dusty, you know, just... Oh, okay. Well, that's a significant distance, especially in a place I've personally never been before.
It should be doable. I mean, the Vistani follow that route a lot, so they,
The Vistani are...
they're like travellers around here.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've... they were in the tavern. The three people
Oh.
that were sat there. Yeah.
I told you they were nice.
They travel with their wagons, through Barovia quite often, through our village, and they
Are they
tend to...
travelling traders and merchants?
Sort of. They were craftsmen,
Okay.
families, clans, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
But they travel the roads quite often. So, and they do it in wagons, so it's definitely viable by wagon. So, on foot we should be able to make it. It'll just take a little longer.
I mean, has it possibly been an option to pay them to take your sister? It's just a suggestion.
We don't really have too much money to offer for them to escort. Plus, I don't really think any of them are quite warriors, I mean, yourselves, you said you were mercenaries, so, ideally, probably a little bit better at,
Yeah, so don't approach them.
handling the situations that might arise. Plus, if we're not in a carriage, then...
I think we could maybe ask if we could use their wagon, and pay them.
The only drawback potentially with that, as you've probably seen, it looks relatively dangerous out there. More people means more attention. May be better to be able to slide on through. Once again,
But if they're so used to travelling via wagons, then surely they know the fastest routes.
that's probably not a bad idea. Something we can,
And also more
if
likely
you've met them before.
also more likely to slip by it as well if there's any tolls or anything, if they have to pay anything to get from one city to another.
Hmm.
We didn't meet them.
No, they were just in the same tavern.
I wanted to meet them. Cass, no.
Brains brawn.
Hmm.
Fair.
While this discussion's happening, you do hear the footsteps of an additional person start coming through some hallways, and just through one of the doorways appears a woman carrying several bowls in her arms, presumably with food. This woman is wearing sort of a battle dress, essentially. She's wearing what looks to be quite old, slightly more antiqued kind of breastplate on top of a red kind of dress. And she's got reddish auburn hair, and in comparison to the village and the darkness that you've seen and the people, this woman is beautiful in all respects. She walks in and she starts putting plates down, and you can see it's a hideous looking stew with a borderline beginning to go mouldy piece of bread in each bowl. Ismark immediately stands up and just starts passing bowls out to you guys. And she sits down straight away, goes, "You're not going on about Vallaki, are you?" Ismark straight away gestures to you guys. So I found people that can take us. We'll take you. And she sits there, kind of like drops her head. She doesn't seem as interested in the idea of going.
Do you not want to go?
She, looking at her food, just mutters a little bit, just loud enough for you to hear, and goes, "I don't want to leave until our dad's buried."
Family drama, am I right?
I'm the worst person to talk about this with.
So I take it you are Ismark's sister that needs to be escorted to Vallaki?
Yes, I read.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I wish under better circumstances. So you're not so much in a hurry at the moment?
I'm happy to go once our dad's been buried.
Oh, that seems to be a reoccurring theme around here, people passing away. Was that his coffin I spotted next door?
It was.
Was?
He's been laying there for 3 days now, waiting, but Ismark won't take him. Ismark this whole time, he's silent, just looking at his food, slowly eating.
Is there a reason?
He, in the silence, you hear him just like chewing this really stout bread, and there's a little crunch. So it's difficult to carry a cask by yourself.
I'll do it. Looks like we'll help you.
Could he not be buried in Barovia, or is there a family cemetery? Or
And he's carried him to the church,
whereabouts is the church in town?
just north, not far. But it's difficult carrying a coffin all the way up the street by yourself. So.
I get that. Well, I suppose there are a few extra hands here, and Ismark has hired, I suppose, to a degree, us to get you safe. And if this is the one thing that's stopping you from moving, then I'm happy to lend a pair of hands to lay your father to rest.
Well, that settles that then. She goes to eating and just absolutely stuffing her face. You can very clearly see like part of the bread she's eating is in fact mouldy, but she doesn't give a shit.
Penicillin, it's fine, it's good for you.
Magical D&D stuff though. Can't buy a real
Magical viruses.
Yeah.
It's healing putty actually.
Be careful, you may get moved.
Can I make one request though? Can we rest before we move the coffin and then take the journey to...
Ismark is, yeah, of course. He's not going anywhere, so.
What sort of time of day is this? I'm guessing this is sort of potentially late afternoon, or I can't really tell. Not much of the sun.
You get used to it. We're pushing into the evening a little bit now.
Ah, okay.
You're welcome to stay here if you'd like.
I've
You can go in the
not
morning.
seen
Just
many other places, I suppose.
That would be very nice.
Thank you.
We don't have much in the ways of good bedding, but you'll have a roof.
Better than none.
That does it.
But no, thank you, Ismark. Yeah. This is quite a delectable concoction. Do you mind, what is it? I've noticed the fauna and flora around here is very limited.
He almost excitedly is like starts pointing in your bowl, and he's like, I made it myself. We used some old carrots that we found, you know, some broccoli, cauliflower. We had some chicken bones, so I made a bit of a stock. We didn't have any meat, but there is actually a chopped up boot in that leather, so it's good quality. Chopped it up real fine. You know, it's a bit tough to get through, but you manage. And the bread, that's, you know, I baked that pretty fresh 2-3 weeks back. Pretty good. Used the last of my flour, and the rats had only been in it a little bit.
Thank you very much for sharing your food.
Pretty good.
I will politely start to eat, and I will go into my pack and pull out a rasher of my heavily salted, questionable meats, and tear off a bit and use it as a bit of a dip. I will offer.
It's like, are you sure?
Not the whole, you can tear a piece.
Okay, he grabs it.
Go on, just
There we go.
And then you
I
just
take a dagger and there you go. I
just
just
slowly cutting it. You're both like
slither
pulling
off.
it apart, and it
Yeah.
eventually gives.
Can I see him doing that and be like, you use the rest of it and pull out one of our rations? And can I cut it into 3?
Yeah.
Give Cass one, put one in mine, and then give another one to his sister.
Yeah. She happily takes it, but she doesn't offer too much noise of thanks. She's a little bit more depressed.
mood.
You guys finish your meals. Ismark shows you upstairs, shows you a few rooms. Basically says, you know, we've got enough if you want a room each. If you want one together, if you want to share some rooms, I don't mind.
What's the first room he takes us into?
First one's just one with 2 single beds on either side.
Can I just walk into that first room and be like, to everyone, and then just walk straight into bed and just face on?
It is dense.
That's fine.
It just
You face planted a stone slab.
right into the bed frame.
But out cold instantly.
Do you join or do you go into a different room?
I want to explore before I choose.
You get taken to a second room, which is slightly smaller, with an ever so slightly better looking bed, single bed on its own. Third room is a double bed in the room, and then there is a master bedroom. He says that's where he stays, and he takes you to another room. He says this is Irina's room. Irina's room has a double bed in that presumably she stays in, and then there is a smaller kind of futon-esque, like what's it called? The one that's a chair, a chaise lounge. It's like a chaise lounge in a
Chaise lounge.
blanket.
Chaise
And
lounge.
things like that, I guess, also works. But yeah, sleep where you guys want.
If you want to take the double bed, perhaps some form of reminisce of the time gone by, I'll take the single.
It's alright, I'll go see with Natasha. On the rock hard bed she chose.
Do you also just...
No, I just want to get up.
Is the other bed at least a little softer for her?
Nope.
Because I could
No.
do with a rock hard bed.
both dense?
We don't split the party.
They're all dense.
When you walk in the room as well, I'm just splayed out, face down.
Like a car crash victim.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll say you guys go into
Yeah.
respective rooms.
Yeah, I'll just in case you change your mind, I will go into the single on its own, which is the one next to the double single room.
They're all next to each other, and then Irina's is the only one on the opposite side of the hall.
Yeah, I'll go into the single.
So you guys have a long rest. So you get all your perks of a long rest.
Ta-da.
Can you all roll me another perception check?
Perception, that would be a 14 for
Oh,
yourself.
not in that time.
Nice.
2 in one session.
18.
Okay. So the three of you, you were all awakened in the middle of the night. You hear a very faint noise. You can hear what just sounds like a group of something in the distance, like a very subtle marching sound. And that's about it. You can also hear this, but a little clearer. It sounds like it's a substantial amount of people off in the distance. You notice not only the sound, but you can tell, just like laying on your back, opening your eyes, that on the ceiling there is an ever so faint glow of green that accompanies the volume of these footsteps going past. They're not near the building, they're like way off in the distance, but you can tell as it gets slightly louder, this green hue just gets a touch brighter and it dissipates. It's the very faint, it's a faint colour, but there is something outside somewhere. You guys can choose to investigate if you want, or you can just go to bed. It's the middle of the night, you guys are like halfway through your sleep.
Well, I'm probably not going to be able to see a great deal, being a human, so I'm probably just going to go, it's a bit odd, and just curl back under. I'm guessing mine is also a solid bed.
Yes, very dense, very dense.
Do I notice if Cass has woken up to the noise?
I assume you
Can I,
She's
whilst laying down, just right.
What do you do? You absolutely just see Cortesha laying there, and then just
This half orc head go, yo.
Do you hear that?
go here.
What is that?
Next to you.
Can I get out of the bed? Is it over near the window?
It is.
And you said they were boarded up, right?
Yeah, so the upper floors, there are boards, but there are like gaps.
Can I peek through the gap and see?
Yeah. So what you see is off in the distance, there is a greenish glow off in the fog. Distant enough that you can't make it out too clearly, but you can definitely see what looks like groups of people that are almost emanating this green glow, moving across through the very edges of the town westward. And you watch for a few minutes as this mass kind of fades slowly as it walks out of the bounds of the village, and it looks like they kind of disappear amongst trees, just fade away into nothing. After a few more minutes, you see it re-emerge even further off, a small dot seeming to kind of slowly ascend a little bit, like it's getting a little bit higher, perhaps following a path that curves up, and then you don't see it again. But that's it. And then the rest of them are
Can I then turn to Cass before, like, as I'm walking back over to the rock side of the bed and just be like, there's a bunch of people, I think, some spooky green lights.
But there are no people.
That's what I saw.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna basically with my head just drop back down.
You guys then finish long rest.
Should we maybe call it there?
We'll leave it there with the creepiness. And it'll be a fresh morning.
Stay tuned, all folks.